Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at some exercises for the back and shoulders. So this first exercise you're going to see, I'm going to be doing different variations of rows. In this video clip, I'm going to be using a long resistance band. If you don't have one, you can also use a pair of stretchy pants or you can tie some socks together. So here I'm just tying the band in a knot and I'm going to be hanging it over top of my door so that the knot is on the outside of the door, and when we'll be doing those exercises that band won't come through because it's stabilized by that knot. So feel free to get someone to help you put that band on top of the door there. So starting off with posture, I'm going to have a nice proud chest and I'm going to pull those shoulders down and back. I'm then going to grab hold onto that band, keeping a nice tight core, repositioning those shoulders, lifting that chest again, and I'm going to start off with a neutral grip row here. So my palms are very close together. I'm keeping my elbows locked in and brushing them against my ribs as I'm pulling that band down, and I'm using the mark of my elbows hitting the back of the chair there as a reference point. From here you can do different variations. So here I'm showing different tempo variations. So going slow on the way down or slow on the way back as I'm extending those arms. You can also do pulses like I'm showing there. The key is here to go nice and slow. Really think about contracting those muscles. Next exercise here, I'm going to be doing a wide grip face pull. So my hands are a bit wider for this one. I'm keeping those elbows lifted and I'm thinking about pulling that band towards my nose. Again, play with the tempo here. Really focus on your breathing. Think about exhaling as you're pulling that band towards you and inhaling as you bring that band away from you. This last variation, I'm just doing a straight lat pull down. So I'm just targeting or focusing on bringing that band down towards my chest. Here is just another view of those same exercises. So here's that close grip. You'll notice I'm keeping my elbows nice and close to my ribs here. And once I feel that my arms have touched the back of the chair there, I'm slowly releasing down. Watch here that your traps aren't hiking up too high. We really want to focus on squeezing underneath the armpit there. This next variation is that face pull like I showed you in that previous clip. So you'll notice I'm keeping my elbows lifted nice and high. Again, focusing on posture here, going nice and slow, changing the tempo. And this last one here is that regular lat pull down. So pulling that band down towards my chest and then all the way out. This next variation, you can do a single arm or double arm kind of face pull variation. Okay, this next clip, I'm going to be using a TheraBand and I'm going to be tying it in a knot again. With this variation, we are going to be tucking that TheraBand underneath of the door, again with the knot on the outside of the door. So if you have someone that can help you put that band underneath the door, that would be great. So here I'm going to be focusing again on that posture, so lifting that chest up, pulling those shoulders down and back, and bracing that core. And here I'm going to be doing single arm exercises. So again, I'm going to be doing those close grip rows. So I'm bringing my elbow back. It is coming a little bit out to the side in this clip here. Again, you can play with those tempo variations. This next exercise, I'm doing more of an upright row, so I'm thinking about driving up with that shoulder and again, slow back down. The mark here is to bring your hand just below your chin. Next set of exercises, I'm going to be using that TheraBand again, and this time I'm just going to be looping it under some kind of stable surface. So here I'm using a dresser. You could also use the bottom of a sofa or a couch. Again, always making sure our posture is good, so having a nice open chest, pulling those shoulders back and down. Here I'm doing double arm rows. So again, really focusing on driving back with those elbows, keeping a nice neutral grip with my wrists there. If you are able to lean forward a little bit, if you have the core stability as well as the back extensor muscles here, you can also lean forward a little bit just to keep those elbows a little bit closer to you. This will also help with postural and stability control. Next, I'm going to be changing my grip up a little bit here, so my hands are kind of on top of the TheraBand and my palms are facing towards the ground. and I'm going to be doing an upright row. So my cue here is I'm thinking about driving my elbows up towards the ceiling and bringing my hands just below chin level. You don't want to bring your hands higher than chin level. So here I'm just showing you without the band. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the muscles that are involved in these exercises. So we're first going to talk about the row variations, more so kind of that high and low row that I first did there. So we're going to start looking at the big back superficial muscles here. So you'll notice there's a big one there that spans on either side of your spine. That's called your latissimus dorsi, and it works to extend your arms back. So as you're pulling your elbows back during those rows, it's mainly that muscle doing the work. The other muscle that's also involved in the row is your trapezius, this big triangle muscle here, mainly the middle and lower fibers, as well as some of the forearm muscles of the upper arm and the biceps and triceps, which work as dynamic stabilizers for this exercise. Okay, so moving to the back again, we're next going to talk about the lat pull-down variation that I showed in some of the previous clips. So let's take away some of those superficial muscles and take a look at the deeper muscles. Again, your traps and your latissimus dorsi are going to be your main muscles used in this movement, but there are some smaller muscles beneath those that work together as well to perform this exercise. So you'll notice there's some muscles on the inside of the scapula there, closest to your spine. Those are your rhomboids, major and minor, and they work to bring the scapulas together closer to your spine. So when you're squeezing your shoulders together, it's those muscles that are doing the work there. So with the lat pull down, it's primarily used to train the upper back muscles like the latissimus dorsi, the traps, and the rhomboids. And the upper back muscles lower your shoulders and are responsible for pulling the arms down and back. So the last exercise we looked at was that upright row. So with the upright row, it's mainly using the upper fibers of the trapezius, the deltoids, that big shoulder muscle there, as well as the biceps on the front of your arm. The upper traps and the deltoids work together to elevate the shoulder girdle and to raise your arms, while the biceps work to flex your elbows. So together, all of these muscles are working in unison to perform the exercise.